Y'all can keep me company. Y'all are too nice to me. Alright, what's going on everybody? It is your boy Starkler coming at you with another video, and for today's episode, we're going to be talking about what it's like to get to 137 laugh, because as you could see, my toon is now 137 laugh at the time of me recording this. It is currently the 9th, which actually marks, I think, 7 years since I made this toon, so it's been exactly 7 years since I made Master Tom Twinkleteeth all the way back in 2014, and I managed to make it to 137 on July 5th. And I managed to finally do it after their recent update when they significantly nerfed the golf and the racing requirements, and then I went out on my way to max fishing as well, and I did it. It only took like almost 7 years, but I made it to 137. Also, this is actually a second take on me recording this because the first time I did this, it was over 25 minutes long, and I feel like I just went on a tangent for way too long. So for this video, I'm going to try to keep it as short and as simple and straight to the point as I can for those that want to know if it's worth it or not getting to 137, and just how much things have changed over time from Toontown Online to Toontown Rewritten. So yeah, anyways, let's just get started. So, here's my toon. I did it. Made it to 137, like I've already said like 5 times ago. But anyways, let's just get started on what it takes to get here. So, first things first, in order to get to 100 laugh, the base 100, everyone starts at 15 and they work their way up through all the playgrounds. So from Toontown Central to Donald Stalk, Daisy Gardens, Minnie's Melodyland, the Berg, and then last Donald's Dreamland. And then maybe someday in the future we'll get the Cloud, but you know, that's a faraway phenomenon. But anyways, you get a total of 85 laugh points by progressing through all the playgrounds all the way to the end if you don't do anything else. You get 85 laugh points in total for doing all that. Um, and overall, I would say this part of the game is pretty easy, and it's probably the most fun out of all because after that you do the boss fights, which give you additional laugh points. But progressing through the playgrounds isn't all that bad, and it's really not that hard. It just takes time. I know of some people that can literally make it to the end of Donald's Dreamland like in less than a week. I don't know how they do it, but I can never do something like that, but that's just how they do it. And yeah, it's pretty easy to do, and it's pretty straightforward, so if you want to get to 100 laugh, it's pretty easy, and my journey there wasn't too hard because I played Toontown Online, and then when I started Rewritten, it got quicker and easier. So I guess that's pretty much the easiest part of progressing to 137 is doing the playgrounds. So moving on, we now have the Cog Disguise, and it's pretty straightforward. You go into the Cog facilities, you get what you need, you get your merits, get your Cog bucks, get your jury notices, stock options. You go and fight the boss until you make it to level 50. And you get 5 laugh from all 4 of these bosses too, but it takes a really long time to max each and every single one of these. And it seems like, it's not difficult at all. None of these 4 bosses are hard to max. The problem is it just takes a lot of time to max. That's I think a misconception that happens a lot in this game is that people say, "Oh, it's so hard to max things." Like Max Laff do 9 Office Ds plus I think it's an Office C just to get the max jury notices just for 1 laugh point. But in reality, it just takes a long time to get that promotion. It's not hard, it just takes time. Sellbot HQ, pretty straightforward, easy to max. It's like the new boss. Same goes with Cashbot, it's sort of like that too. Some people argue that Cashbot's quicker to max than Sellbot because you get so many cog bucks in the bullion mints that you do. But again, it's kind of random. Like, this is the only Cog HQ that's completely random to do when it comes to doing different mints and stuff because there's like 25 to 30 different floors for like each mint that you do. And then you got Lawbot. Again, this one takes like the longest because you have to do like 9 Office Ds. And then you have Boss which the COG golf courses are actually slightly easier than Lawbot, because in Lawbot there's a bunch of a level 11s and a 12 on each floor. But, you know, that's enough of that. Bottom line, it takes a long time to do this, but then you get 20 laugh points total. So, is it hard? No, it's not hard. So, yeah, you max the bosses, you go through the playgrounds. It takes time. And in between all this, you're going to max all your gags as well, which isn't all that hard. And again, that's pretty straightforward too. So yeah, again, let's just keep moving on here. So, and also I forgot, I got to talk about the Cog Disguises just for one more brief moment. Back then in Toontown Online, um, there was never a doubler. Um, promotion XP was never doubled unless there was a cog invasion, but now it's 2.0 for every cog facility, so it makes it even easier to get double the experience and level up through these really quickly. That's why I didn't say, like, oh, back then in the day you needed 18 Office Ds. Could you imagine doing 18 Office Ds just to get a single promotion in Lawbot? I mean, that's insane. But yeah, that's enough of that. Now we're gonna move on to the extra parts of the game that are completely optional. Everything's more optional. Like after you, I mean, in reality, once you finish Donald's Dreamland, you're pretty much on your own to do whatever you want. Like, no more main tasks, task lines. You just do like cogs for jelly beans like I do. So yeah, let's get going. Again, let's see what else we could talk about, okay? Um, let's talk about gardening. Gardening is super easy, except, if you don't know what the bean combos are, you're going to have to look them up on the wiki. It's pretty straightforward. You just go and you do your gardening every single day, and you get it done. Like, you just go and you plant your 10 flowers, water them, then the next day, or I think it's 12 hours later, you could plant them again. So you could pretty much do it almost twice in one day if you have the sleep schedule for it. And you just keep leveling up. I think it takes like 3 or 4 months of constant work, and then you get all the laugh points. And of course, if you're like me, you're going to end up getting the Toon statue after you completely max it out. And things like your watering can, which get bigger and more efficient the more you water things. It's easy to do, and frankly, I think everyone should do it because it's super, super easy to max. Find an alt account. And who is ringing my phone? Can you leave me alone? So moving on to golf, this has become. Oh, really? No, don't do that to me. So golf has become much, much easier than it used to be back when it was ported over from Toontown Online. As you can see, I only have 25 the whole kit and caboodle wins. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Back then on Toontown Online, you used to need to win 100 of those in order to get the golden trophy. And I think when it comes to 200 multiplayer courses completed, I think it was 400. Um, if I think that's what it is. I think it used to be 400, and then they lowered that as well. But overall, like, bottom line, golfing is much easier to max now because within the recent update they significantly lowered the requirements. And it's actually the same deal with racing as well, which I'm actually going to move on to because they updated the golfing and the racing within this most recent update. And I think it only took me 4 days to max racing. I recommend anyone that wants to max racing because I still don't like it and I never did it in online or rewritten until now. Find a partner that can win trade with you because it's 100% worth it. I could not imagine winning. It used to be 100 tournament races won. I'm not going to dive into like what exactly is Goofy Speedway and like what tournaments are, but let me tell you something. Winning 100 tournament races would have taken a very, very long time to do, and they lowered it down to 5. They decreased the number by 95%. Racing is easier to max now, and I'm happy that they did that. I still don't like racing. I'm not going to go on a tangent. I still don't like racing, but it's easy to max now. Also, I had a friend that helped win trade with me. Here he is, Mr. Toony Doodle Quack. He asked for a shout out, so I'm going to give it to him anyways. So, there's your shout out. Thank you for helping me win trade. and let's move on to the next topic. So the final thing we have on here is fishing. This is the part that messed up my little discussion video last time because it literally broke me talking about how painful this was. The chances of catching like I think the last like 6 or 7 ultra rare fish is like a 0.0 like 1% chance for some of them. It takes so incredibly long, and it is so painful catching these fish. I kid you not. It takes you so long to do it. My tips to you is if you're going to max fishing, do some heavy research on where the best spot is to catch these rare fish. Because if you fish in the wrong spot, it's going to be harder. For example, let's talk about, just like giving a brief example, the all-star fish. Alright? All-star fish. Right here, I caught it. The best place to catch it is at the estate because it's a 0.04% chance that you'll catch it. But anywhere else, it's pretty much a 0.01% chance. So just be sure to do heavy research on fishing if you're going to do it. I got really lucky and I caught 3 ultra rare fish on the last day that I made it to 137 on the 5th because I knew where I needed to fish and I think I got lucky. But, you know, all being 137 just means it basically says that you just spent lots of extra time doing stuff like this. This is what I did with my time. I sat here and I fished for so many hours just for another laugh point. Is it worth it? It depends. So let's get down to the verdict. Oh yeah, also, I forgot to mention, sprinting is now added in the recent update. So doing things like getting through like, like the mints and the doing back nines and stuff, it's a little bit quicker now because you could sprint. So that feels good. But anyways, let's get down to the final verdict. Getting to 137 laugh, is it worth it? It really depends on what you want as a player. If you're a casual player who just wants to play through the game and max all 4 bosses and just say, hey, I did everything, then it may not be worth it for you. But if you're a completionist, or another term they might say is elitist or whatever, I think there's a difference between those two, then this might be worth it for you because it's become significantly easier to do. Like I said, the golfing requirements went down. It's much easier to max. The carts, the racing, it's much easier to do. Gardening is super easy to do. Fishing is still painful, but thanks to the Silly Meter update, which I forgot to mention, you can get things like double racing tickets, Overjoyed laugh meters. You can get more experience in all this stuff. Like especially decreased fish rarity, which would help out with catching the ultra rare fish. That could be definitely useful as well. Bottom line, it's much easier now to get to 137 than it was from Toontown Online. And if you want to do it, then go for it. See how hard it is for yourself. But just know that you don't have to do this. And there's always going to be more opportunities for more laugh points as well. Because even though I'm 137 right now, the Max Laff is going to eventually increase, and there's going to be 3 more laugh points, and then I'll be 140 once I max that. And then if you include the Silly Meter, Overjoyed laugh of 8 laugh, then technically the Max Laff you can get in this game is 148. So that's pretty high. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy Starkler coming at you with a discussion on what it's like getting to 137 laugh, because I know that not that many people really make it this far. I know a lot of people don't even make it to 130 or even past 120 sometimes, so I just wanted to give a little insight on what it's like to make it here, the journey, the things you did with all the people. You know, just remember that, like, even during your first days, those toons that helped you, like, fight off cogs on the street or got you through a cog building or whatever, they are what contributed to this. I did not do this completely by myself, even though it technically is possible. It's been proven it's possible to get to 137 by yourself, but that's enough of that. That's another video. But yeah, go for it. 137. And I'll still play this game too. Like, I'm not done yet. I did a bunch of VPs and CFOs yesterday with some friends, so it was fun. But yeah, I don't want to go on a tangent, so I guess I'm just gonna end it here, alright? So I'll see you guys in the next one, alright? Thank you guys so much for watching. Wait, yeah, jump. Bye.